a little bit later than usual, so we'll try to make this short today. Even if I have some friends pop in for a discussion, I think we'll try to wrap it up in half an hour tops. We'll see. I've said that before, and things run on. When I say things run on, what I really should be saying is I run on and I continue to talk. Sometimes saying the same thing more than once, sometimes going off on tangents, sometimes just getting plain old weird and talking nonsense. All that's a possibility. Yesterday I did a short. I didn't read some of my own stuff, which I've been doing since I started doing shorts. Um, I read something from the Chopra Institute, Deepak Chopra, and one of his directors, Roger Gabriel. It's the Deepak Chopra. It's the Chopra Institute that I've got my meditation teacher certification, certified to teach primordial sound meditation, which is a Vedic mantra meditation, as well as some of the preliminary meditations and the teachings from his book, The 7 Spiritual Laws of Success, which I've mentioned before, is really a handbook of Vedic living, Vedic lifestyle. Really great book. Highly recommended. If you read one book in the spiritual self-help genre, my opinion, that would be the one. Contains everything you need. Contains a higher wisdom, mainly because it's not really Deepak's words. Yes, he wrote it. Yes, he worded it. But the essence of the words themselves come from the Vedic wisdom. Comes from the Vedas. It's actually a yogic manuscript on how to live life at its highest level. So this turned into a bit. I know I got a copy here. I got a signed copy here somewhere. So it's turned into a book review and a book endorsement today, which is fine because I feel that strongly about the book that I had wanted to practice Deepak's mantra teaching, his meditation method, which is a slight derivative of transcendental meditation. They are branches from the same ocean, branches of a river, of rivers or streams from the same ocean of consciousness. You have the Vedic mantra traditions, and then you have transcendental meditation, making hand gestures, transcendental meditation, primordial sound meditation, and many other methods of mantra meditation. Very similar in the practice. The main difference is how they derive. The art of living, actually, is another mantra. Both Deepak and the founder of Art of Living, and I can't remember his name right now, were very close to the Maharishi Maharaj, who was the founder of Transcendental Meditation. But even the Maharishi was basically just a teacher of Vedic wisdom. So, it's a really succinct book. Obviously, 7 spiritual laws. It can only be so big, but I guess you could go on and on with those 7 spiritual laws. Fortunately, Deepak didn't, and he kept it very succinct. It has a practice for each day of the week. I could dig it up, but I think maybe tomorrow or the day after, we'll just cover the whole live session, maybe with the 7 spiritual laws. What I wanted to talk about today a little bit is what I read on my short yesterday and living the yogic lifestyle. And Basically what I read was, and I'll reiterate it here, directly from the yamas and the niyamas, which I talked about yesterday, and I talk about quite a bit. Those are the 5 ethical considerations in the beginning of the yogic path. When we say beginning, that doesn't mean we ever put them behind us. Just the thing with the practice is you practice. You practice because you need to, because you don't do it once and think, I got this, I've mastered this. The art of living is in the practice. The art of yoga is in the practice, not something that you put behind you. I know in a lot of non-duality traditions, non-dual modern, non-dual thinking, it is, you get it. You get that understanding, however it comes. Maybe you heard a teacher say something. Maybe you read a book that sparked it. Maybe you saw a video. It doesn't matter. Something sparks that awakening, and you put the practice behind you. You've now awakened. Honestly, I don't think it works that way. It seems to me a lot of people have that awakening experience, and they go off to teach, or they go off to read a book, or they go off to live their life merrily ever after without any concern in practicing, but they lose something. Because you have all these other considerations of what an ethical life is all about. That's yoga. I'm not saying you need to practice yoga. Or if you have an awakening, you got to continue practicing yoga. Or if this is the only way to live your life. If you have a tradition that works for you, that's absolutely fine. I talk about this because this is what works for me. No different than if I were a Christian and I wanted to talk to you about whatever. No different than if I was a Jehovah's Witness and I wanted to discuss that way of living, because it means something to me. Because I feel that I've derived a certain sense of joy and closeness to whatever version of God you believe in. So, whatever it is, if it works for you, and I mean truly works for you, good for you. Happy for you. When I say truly, though, that means that you're living in a house with a firm foundation that can't be knocked out from underneath of you. That if someone questions your thoughts, questions your doctrine, questions your belief, you're okay with that. If someone lives differently than you, you're okay with that. If you're a Christian, are you truly practicing the teachings of Jesus? If you are a Muslim, are you truly practicing the words from the Quran? If you are whatever, are you living up to those teachings? So that's the wonderful thing about yoga for me, is that the tradition is the teaching. You're either living it or you're not. Now, I'm not talking about yoga in the fitness class arena. That's something entirely different. It's more a better name for what you see most people do in a studio is yoga-inspired fitness, yoga-inspired stretching, yoga-inspired whatever. It's not really yoga. Unless you take what you learn, or if you even teach it, off the mat and you live it. So let me reread what I read yesterday. I think that was redundant. Reread what I read yesterday. Be kind to yourself, to others, and the environment in thought, word, and action. Non-harming. Be truthful and honest, including with yourself. Non-lying. Don't take what isn't yours, including not wasting another's time. Non-stealing. Don't waste your energy, that of others, or natural resources. Brahmacharya, abstinence. Practicing managing your energy, basically what they're saying. Brahmacharya by rights means sexual energy. However, we want to consider all forms of energy. Are you using it wisely for your own benefit and the benefit of others and the benefit of the world? Don't be greedy. Take only what you need, non-hoarding. Very important for today, by the way. That covers the 5 yamas. Then we have keep your body, mind, and environment clean and clutter-free. That is the first of the niyamas, practicing cleanliness. They really need to practice non-clutter. Try to practice all these. I'll return to that. I'm not successful in everything that I practice. Hence, it being a practice. Keep your have desires, but also enjoy the gifts you have. Very important. Have your desires. Path of yoga isn't to put those desires behind you. It's to be free. So have the desires, be free of the end result. Be disciplined, especially with your spiritual practices. That's what this live talk is all about today. However, we can include other things as part of our spiritual practice. You can include your burpees, you can include your bodybuilding, you can include your body weight, your ultra running, your racing, whatever. You can all of that can be part of your spiritual practice if it's taken in that consideration that I am surrendering the efforts to reality, to life, to God, whatever expression you like. But be disciplined. Practice. Study sacred texts and practice inner reflection. Sacred texts can be the Bible. It can be the Quran. It can be the Bhagavad Gita, Patanjali's Yoga Sutras, which all of these are based off of, by the way, the Upanishads, the Dhammapada from Buddhism, any of them, what you consider sacred. And the last one, celebrate your highest self and listen to its advice. Highest self could be whatever God you worship. It could be the earth. It could be your soul. It could be the divine essence of the world. Whatever name you give it. Those are the 5 yamas, the basic principles. That is the yogic foundation. You're not doing yoga if you're not practicing them. Period. You might be stretching. You might be showing up in a studio and doing, again, yoga-inspired fitness workout. But it's not yoga unless you're practicing the ethical guidelines, as well as including pranayama, breath work, and meditation, sense withdrawal. That's the path of yoga. So how do you live a yogic lifestyle? What was mentioned there, what I wrote or what I read, as well as the yoga postures, as well as breath work, as well as meditation. There you go. Everything is interconnected. If you practice those guidelines that I just read, everything else becomes easier. If you practice meditation, using those guidelines becomes easier. If you practice the asanas, poses, sitting in meditation becomes easier. If you're doing breath work, every part of your life becomes easier. So, again, it's all interconnected. So that is living the yogic lifestyle. And as you can see, again, I keep using the word practice. It's a practice. Every aspect of your life. Diet, exercise, how we think, how we interact with others. All of it is our concern. All of it should be undertaken as this act of devotion while we're doing it. Remember, yoga means union, drawing the physical, the material, and immaterial together or more truly, seeing that they're already together. That's what we're practicing. And everything mentioned helps us realize that interconnectedness. So, all right, guys, you know what? I think that covers everything for today. It is almost 16 minutes into our live talk. That's enough. I talked yesterday well over an hour, and that happens a couple times a week. So, given the opportunity to just take it easy, talk for 15, 16 minutes, 20 minutes, hey, let's take advantage of that. Hopefully, I covered something that is of interest to anyone. If you ever have any questions about yoga, if you have any questions about meditation, about breath work, I will either be happy to answer them or happy to help you find an answer to them. I can't promise you that I have answers to everything that might be asked, but I can help you find it. We can find it together. We can explore all this stuff together. Yes, I'm a meditation teacher and a breathwork teacher. Yoga philosophy, psychology. I've studied all that. Doesn't mean I have the answers, but it means that we can explore this stuff together. And maybe I know where to look, or maybe you do, and we'll find that out. So again, feel free, leave a comment, send me a message, and thanks for tuning in. I will see you guys tomorrow morning for some burpees. Take care, guys.